Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters, and also your master of martial arts. Since we are we're dealing with some martial arts in this series, but you can't see them very well, which I really regret. However, it is Thursday, which is live action series day, and we will be reviewing the final 3 episodes of the Green Hornet from 1966 to 1967. They're pretty good ones, actually. They end with a bang, which is really nice. It's kind of sad they didn't get a second season. I would have liked to have seen where they went with it, though it would probably have been a lot more of the same, sadly. Be that as it may, before we get too much further into this, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, especially if you want to talk about Kato and the Green Hornet, the 2 Green Hornet movies. Does anyone know where you can find Fury of the Dragon? Because I can't. I've not been able to find it yet. I'm still looking. Because I'd like to review the movies. Maybe on Shaolin Saturdays, since you have betrayed Shaolin. Anyway, that's from Enter the Dragon. But before we get too much further into this, let's roll, Kato.
Another challenge for the Green Hornet. His aide, Kato, and their rolling arsenal, the Black Beauty. On police records, a wanted criminal, the Green Hornet is really Britt Reed, owner-publisher of the Daily Sentinel. His dual identity known only to his secretary and to the district attorney. And now, to protect the rights and lives of decent citizens, rides the Green Hornet.
We begin with Britt Reed's birthday. In the 24th episode, this was aired March 3rd, 1967, and it's pretty straightforward, but it is a bit of a change of pace, much like the previous Alias the Scarf was, because we get to focus on Britt Reed a little more here. So we're having a birthday party. His buddy Dale is a surprise, and they've got a gift for him, which is a nice, I don't know, it's a gun. I don't know guns. They're not my specialty. But theirs is Eddie Reck. I think that's his name. He got fired, and Dale there is paper couldn't compete with the Daily Sentinel, so he's been hired by Britt. But the gun goes off, kills old Eddie, and Britt's framed. Britt leaves. He actually clocks Scanlon to run away because he's fighting for his life, and you'd think this would be an episode mostly about the Green Hornet, and you're kind of right. So they roll. And then they have to go get the evidence, so they invade police headquarters. This all happens in the opening segment. They invade police headquarters. Kato, this is the best, nicely lit. It's really well shot. Kato beats up all of them. They grab it. Green Hornet gasses the guards because they don't want to kill him. Kato gives a reverse, actually it's a swinging back kick, which knocks out the guard. Now these stuntmen had to have their utmost faith in him that he would not connect with their faces, because that would really hurt. I've not been kicked in the face, but I've taken an elbow to one. And Dale's in there. Did we miss the whole Hornet Save Thyself? What the heck's going on here? That's the name of the episode. Should have been right there. And bear with me one second here. We're going to take a look. I don't know if you can see this one. Well, apparently I got rid of that. All right. Hornet Save Thyself is the name of the episode. So off they go. Casey's wondering why old Dale is writing such a hard editorial, or actually not an editorial, but a hard article about how, and he's kind of distorting the facts. It's kind of obvious who the villain is here. Off they go to get more evidence. Britt goes and visits old Dale and says, "I'll meet you at such and such a place." Dale immediately informs the cops and tells them he's there and he's armed and dangerous. And Scanlon has a discussion with his lieutenant who's out to arrest him. That's Frank Marth. Dale was played by Michael Strong. Let's see if we can find out what else he's been in really quickly. He was in Patton. Star Trek as Dr. Roger Corby. Okay, we've seen him before if you've watched Star Trek, such as I have. Galactica 1980. I don't know that you'd want to really be known for that, but he was in some other stuff. Project UFO, Man from Atlantis. Oh, I'd kind of like to review that series. Dun dun dun. Where were we here? So the police show up because he's bamboozled him, but he gets away. Interstitial. He gets Casey's help because they need to know what she remembers. This is her flashback. Diddly diddly. There's the gun going off, which is a bright blast there. And old Dale is hiding something in, I don't know, what are those things? Mums. They look like mums, don't they? So off they go back. Kato says, "Be quiet. The police are still around here looking for you." Because they go in the secret way. So they find the transmitter. They've got it all sussed out now, and Kato's nowhere to be found again. But they want to reenact the crime as opposed to the accident. Unfortunately for Dale, he blows it. Britt does a monkey flip and kicks him, and assigns Mike to write the whole the story up, the article about what's going on, and they're done. Now we go into the 25th episode. Now this is two parts, as we'll see momentarily. Hopefully I saved the title cards. Casey's looking fab in her mod outfits, and they're going out for a late dinner and drinking already. So hopefully Kato's driving and is a teetotaler. And suddenly a shot rings out. No, they hear a report on the television that a flying saucer has crashed. Now they're talking to everybody. There's his man on the street. But good thing for them, the aliens show up. Oh, let's get rid of this one. That is our first alien, and I'm using alien in air quotes, you just can't see it, is Vama, maybe. Played by Linda Gay Scott, who was in many, many things back in the day. Let's see, she was in Batman as the Riddler's Mall, as Moth, and then also in Lost in Space. She was Arlette, the robot prostitute who seduces Richard Benjamin for some reason in Westworld, a movie I sort of remember watching. Bonanza, Clambake, uncredited. Anyway, and there we have Eric Mabuse. Now he's named after the Dr. Mabuse of Fritz Wagner fame in those movies, but he's been in many things. And there's a reason Yukon Cornelius is in the title card there that you saw. He's provided the voices in many. He was in The Octagon. I think that's a Chuck Norris movie. The Sting. Let's see what else. He's done a lot of voiceover work. He was in the new Scooby and Scrappy Doo. I Don't Even Care. So he's done a lot of things as well. But we'll talk about old Yukon here in a moment. Vama's got some weird power. Now, it looks like an electrical charge, but we don't know exactly what it is. But it takes out Kato. We cut, and Casey thinks he's dead, but he's just stunned. And it's the Invasion from Outer Space, Part 1. So Mabuse, I don't even know if he gives an alien name, but he pretends like his spaceships have crashed or hovering over, I don't know, Central City. Let's make one up. And they're going to come down if they don't give them the fuel. But Of course, it's a fake. Britt, though, says, don't worry, they're not going to harm us. But they tell Scanlan, they give him all the roads they want access to, and then they realize that, well, they get zapped. They grab Casey for insurance, and out they go. And then they're like, well, we're humans. Dun dun, no biggie. Our heroes wake up and off they go because Britt's a little more concerned about Casey than you might think he would be, considering how often he just kind of ignores her. There's our truck drivers who've got an H bomb with them. They're just crossing the middle of the country there, no big deal. So he reveals he wants power. He was a scientist and now he's gone mental. He doesn't want you to call him crazy though. Fortunately, the Hornet, probably Kato, invented a tracker, which Casey has. They probably all should, and they can follow her. So they're like, "What's going on here?" And Casey is not. She's not a shy. Nowadays they should have done more with her, but nowadays they would have, except for that lousy movie. I saw a clip of the Green Hornet movie recently. It's so bad. It's just so bad. But he's going to detonate the device if they don't cooperate with him. But Casey throws her drink on there, causes an explosion, and gets away. Smart woman. But it's fortunately just the oscillator, and they can fix it. Interstitial. Casey has a blowout and crashes, but spread out, you guys. All right. Why I ought to moiter you. And then we get some fight scenes in the dark. Casey gets stuck on a conveyor belt headed toward the fire. Kato beats the stuffing out of these guys. I mean, literally, but you can't see it. One of the reasons I want to watch the movie that they used in the first movie. But we'll see if it's lightened up at all. There's a lot of problems with that movie, but hopefully they fix the lighting. It's just, why would you put out someone? I don't get it. But you see, he just beats him up. Britt rescues Casey from being scorched. Vama, while doing that, stops the truck with the bomb in it. And there it is. That's the end of part 1. Now we go to right to part 2. You don't even get a previously on the Green Hornet. And they give you 5 minutes of it because this was a 25-minute show minus 30 minutes minus commercials, which would be 51 minutes if it was an hour. And hour-long shows are about 41 minutes. So they're barely longer than a half an hour. Mike Axford does not show up in either of these final episodes. I hope he got paid. He still got credited. So Maboose is telling the police to stay away. They find a tracker on one of the guys. I'm surprised she didn't zap him right there. The Hornet shows up. They have a discussion, and they get taken captive. They've got an explosive device set to go off when vibrations hit a certain amount, as you saw the vibrant meter. And they're using the Hornet sting to do it. There's the, C-470, whatever dynamite, TNT. They've got the guy who had the transmitter on him, and he's like, I'm panicking. He jumps out, gets blown up. Kaboom! They think the Hornet's toast, so but he's not. The government's conferring. See, they're all working together the way things should work. Nuclear blackmail for $1 million. He's even balding and wearing some quasi-futuristic clothing, Mr. Powers, Mr. Hornet. This guy doesn't want to go along with it, and so they throw him out. They get to the bus. They're on a bus or something now, and they're having a fight. Kato's out, still driving, and then once again you don't see him beat up people in the darkness. Now, see, here's where Vama's powers can't be electrical because that would not work against a mirror. Electricity wouldn't have worked. It's a nice effect. It looks cool, but you tell me what it is. Leave a comment if you think you know what Vama's powers actually were based on. Everything, more stuffing, and the Hornet gets the detonator and stops it. Phew! And now everyone's caught. I'm assuming that they sentenced Maboose to a mental institution, but I thought Vama was under his power somehow because of the way she looks. But no, she's just as guilty as the rest of them. So, they'll be locked up for a while. He's like, here, take this on your date. You'll be a hit at the opera. Couldn't do Vama justice. And then we get this, the end. So that's the Green Hornet. Now I'm not 100% sure what I'll be reviewing next week. Like I said, suddenly, I'd like to review, say, Man from Atlantis or the Logan's Run TV series. That would be fun. I really wouldn't want to watch Logan's Run, the movie, again. No, I haven't seen it in a long time. Maybe I did. I saw it in the theater way back when. So we'll figure it out. But, all right, my fellow agents. This is X7 signing off. Until tomorrow and our next assignment, I'll be phasing out.
Kato strikes with the deadly art of Gung Fu. The Black Beauty travels into the tunnel of death. And Britt Reed is delivered into the hands of the enemy by the Green Hornet. For these and other action-packed scenes, tune in on the Green Hornet. Each week, ride with Kato and the Green Hornet on their relentless fight against crime. Beauty withstands a hail of bullets and spits back. A laser beam becomes a killer's weapon. The Green Hornet duels with death from the sky. For these and other action-packed scenes, tune in to the Green Hornet.
7:30 will start Friday's buzzing with the Green Hornets. That legendary nemesis of crime with his loyal companion Kato thrilled most of us as kids in one of radio's longest runs.
Let's push this aside, Kato, and go through. I'm with you, boss.
Friday, a night to remember. The Green Hornet.
Stick to the back streets, Kato.
Check. The Time Tunnel. The Milton Berle Show. O'clock high. Friday, one of 7 nights to remember. A season you won't forget. All in color. On ABC.